Your mind is either working for you or against you. Now, I know this sounds like something that you've seen on a motivational poster before, but I promise you, this is one of the most important things that you can learn about yourself. See, most of us go through life reacting to stuff. We react to people, we react to circumstances, and we react even to our own thoughts. And we never stop to actually think, hey, do I actually have a choice here? And I want to talk about that today. So I'm going to share something personal. I'm going to break down why this stuff actually matters. And I'm going to give you 3 things that have actually worked for me and have helped me get a better grip of my inner world. So I want to start with something personal because I feel like it gives context to what I'm about to say. There was a point in my life where I was making a lot of mistakes. Like any mistake that you can think of, I was probably making it. I was bad with money, I was terrible with relationships, I was literally doing everything wrong. And what I remember most about that time is what was going on through my head. And it was mostly thoughts of anxiety, thoughts of fear, thoughts of insecurity. And I didn't really know at the time, but my mind was completely running the show. I was just responding to my fears, I was responding to my doubts. I was just reacting to whatever someone said that rubbed me the wrong way that day. It was just a total mess. But the turning point for me came when I read this book called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. And in that book, in the first few pages, he does a really good job of separating you from your thoughts. And it finally clicked for me when I read the book that I am not my thoughts and I don't have to listen to them. I don't have to follow them. And I can just take a step back and really just look at what's going on in there and, decide what to do with it. And that realization alone changed everything for me. Because, what most of you don't realize is that your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create your actions. And your actions, over time, they build your life. So if you're letting your thoughts run on autopilot, then basically you're building your life on autopilot. Your life is not being built by you consciously. It's just being built by your fears, by your worries, by your insecurities, by, whatever thing someone said that morning, by whatever it is you watched on social media. That's really all it is. Now, this is important. Controlling your mind doesn't mean suppressing your thoughts, nor does it mean forcing yourself to be positive and think positively, even when things are going kind of weird. It just means learning to observe your thoughts without actually being consumed by them. There's a version of you out there somewhere who's just reacting to everything, and there's a version of you who's responding to life in a very calm and clear manner. And the only difference between those 2 versions of you is what's going on in your head. So, practically, what does this look like? What helps? I'll tell you what, the first thing I started doing was awareness. This is number 1. You have to build that awareness. What does this mean and what does this actually look like? Awareness is actually separating yourself from your thoughts. Because most of us experience our thoughts as reality. We're kind of in them. When you get that thought that says, like, I'm angry, this person did this to me, you actually get angry. You can't really separate yourself and just say, I'm just having an angry thought. I'm not actually angry, but I'm having an angry thought. So you have to build that distance, that separation, so that you don't learn to just go with the thoughts wherever they want you to go. All right, so the second thing you got to do is you got to learn meditation. Now, what is meditation? You have to be able to sit down for 5 minutes a day every morning for 5 days a week, possibly, doesn't matter, and think about just one thing. I'll give you an example. You'll sit down and say, I'm only going to think about a red cup. During those 5 minutes, do not allow any other thought to come into your head except a red cup. Now, if you're a human being who's been living on planet Earth, your mind is going to wander in the first 5 seconds. Dude, don't worry about it. This is normal. If anything, this should show you how your concentration is literally the worst. So what you're going to do is whenever it wanders, you bring it back to the red cup. It's going to go everywhere. It's going to go in every different direction, but you have to bring it back to the red cup. You have to bring it back to the thought. Now, this is the core skill, because during the rest of the day, your mind is going to go everywhere. You have to have the ability to bring it back. The third one is being very intentional about what you feed your mind. You have to be careful about what you put in there. I will say that your social media feed is a great indication of what's going on in your head. If your social media feed is just all chicks, gossip, freaking degeneracy, booze, then that's literally what goes on in your head, because that's what you like watching on your social media. That's what you're feeding your mind, and that's what your mind is attracted to. You have to change what you feed in your mind. You have to curate everything. You gotta stop listening to sad music because it's just gonna make you sad. But now you're sad, dude. Why? Why are you doing that to yourself, bro? What you feed your mind is what your mind is gonna be attracted to, even when you're not doing anything. Feed it good things and it will think good things. So those are the three things that really helped me. Now, this is not some abstract self-help stuff I'm giving you here. This is stuff that you can use in real life. If you go into a conversation and you're just reacting to everything the other person is saying, and you don't know how to be calm, you don't know how to be grounded, then that conversation is going to go way worse than if you went in there with a very calm and grounded mind. If you go into a relationship and you're always present and you're clear, then that relationship is going to go way differently than if you go there in a very agitated mental state. These are things that you can practice in your life. If you make decisions from a very calm place versus if you make a decision from a very reactive mental state, your life is going to go very, very different in both cases. So this is not some abstract stuff. This is stuff that actually applies and helps you in your real life. And really, all you have to do is just be consistent with it. Just take 5 minutes a day for 5 days a week. Just meditate. That's all you got to do. The person you'll be 1 year later, if you consistently do that meditation, is very different from the person that you would be if you just didn't do it. Your mind is literally the only thing that you have full control over, and learning to use it, learning to really use it is one of the highest ROI things you're ever going to do, and it's going to help you in every area of your life. If you know someone who needs to learn this, share this video with them. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.